The federal failure to secure adequate supplies of masks, gowns, and other key protective equipment has cost thousands of lives in the COVID-19 pandemic. Local communities like ours have been left to their own resources to create supplies of gear needed by healthcare workers to prevent the spread of the virus in their facilities. In that context of catastrophe, our local makers or small-scale manufacturers have been saving lives week after week by putting their sewing machines, 3D printers, and other manufacturing equipment to use, making protective gear. My heroes today exemplify the spirit of our maker community. They are a group of volunteers called MoCo MD Fighting COVID-19, founded by Dr. Usa Banag, a local dentist with 2 dental practices in Bethesda and Silver Spring. Like other dentists, Dr. Banag's 2 offices were shut down on March 16th. After donating their existing supplies of masks and gowns to hospitals, Dr. Banag and her team shifted to making face shields. A face shield is printed on a 3D printer by making the frame sort of like a visor frame, which is then fitted with a shield or visor lens that covers the face. In combination with face coverings or masks, this can reduce the exposure of the person wearing it to the tiny vapor droplets that carry the virus. Dr. Banag put her own 3D printers into use and teamed up with other dental personnel to do the same. As the needs increased, Dr. Banag teamed up with local residents in the area who shared the same passion for helping the community to fight COVID-19. From students as young as 10 years old to high school students from Blair and Walter Johnson, from local college students to those far away in New York, from local dentists to Montgomery College professors, families across the area have been making face shields and masks 24/7. Ordinary citizens of different backgrounds coming together to become MoCo Fighting COVID-19. Using the platform and the network of Smiles on Wings, the charity that Dr. Banag founded to provide humanitarian work in Thailand, MoCo MD Fighting COVID-19 was able to raise funds and expand the effort. And working as a team, they have produced thousands of face shields now. These protective devices have been shared with first responders, nursing homes, hospitals, and essential employees. Added all together, the group has delivered more than 13,000 pieces of PPE to 98 different facilities. As the state of Maryland heads into reopening, MoCo MD Fighting COVID-19 team is still producing face shields and masks in full force. The words that I have for her and the community of volunteers that have come together are inspiring, life-saving, and embodying the spirit of community response. In her own words, Dr. Banag says, "For me, as an immigrant, it's an honor to serve my adopted community that has given me an opportunity to change my life and to make a difference." We thank her for her service. Finally, I will note that as difficult as this crisis is for all of us, for our residents of Asian heritage, there is another layer to the challenge, as they are also dealing with the stress caused by the stigma of racism stemming from some people's efforts to deflect blame for the failures of the American public health system. That's wrong. We appreciate and value every single person in our community. We are united in common cause, and we recognize the contributions of our Asian American community to fighting COVID-19. We couldn't do it without you. Thank you, Dr. Banag, and everyone in MoCo Fighting COVID-19. You are community heroes. I would like to just read the names of those who are part of the team, if I could. There's a slideshow that will accompany the video broadcast. Georgie Carter, George Torres, Linda Kwok, Anton Prislavsky, Janing Song, Dr. Usa Banag, Dr. Edmund Liu and his kids, Tanya Puthrin, Nolan Nizmi, Alex and Paul Stankus, Du Darhang and Kiki Marnadi, Penny Kovac, Keegan and Connor Legge, Nick Lunenfeld, Jack and Evan and Ryan Golub, Alex Webb, Dr. Andy Horng, Norman the Mascot, Dr. Usa Banag and Barak Tamir, Arjun Oberoi, Priya Dasani, Professor Deborah Solomon and Mike Wiles, Serena Tsai, John Manassa, Ken, Christine and her family, Kenneth, Carter Mark, Manwa and family, Amy, Lila and Mason Holstein, Jenny, Michael Halls, Erica, and family. Thank you all for everything you're doing to make make our community safer in this difficult time. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you. Ms. Paradise, I understand that the clerk is not able to get on the call at this point. Ms. Paradise, is there any announcements or changes to our agenda?
Should I do it
So
again?
we'll hold a
No,
public.
yeah. Excuse me, Marion. Go ahead, please.
Yes, there's an addendum today. Announcement: the council will hold a public hearing on Bill 8-20, bicycles and e-scooters, operating requirements and registration on June 9th at 1:30. And there's an addition to the consent calendar, introduction of a special appropriation to the Montgomery County Public Schools FY20 capital budget, and amendment to the FY19 to 24 CIP, $446,075 for technology modernization project. That is all.
Thank you very much. I too have an announcement that was just confirmed literally within the minute or two. There is at the request of Senator Ben Cardin, a Zoom meeting is being scheduled for Wednesday, May 27th, from 10 o'clock to 10:45 in the morning. Options for the public to listen to this discussion will be on the council website by Tuesday, the next Tuesday. So it's the Zoom meeting with the Zoom meeting will be from 10 to 10:45 on May the 27th. Thank you. And the next item that we have is we need a motion to approve the consent calendar. Is there a motion?
So moved.
It's been moved by Councilmember Navarro, seconded by Councilmember Rice. There are no discussion.
Mr. President.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just wanted to highlight one of our consent calendar items, which is an introduction, if I'm looking at this correctly, for our special appropriation to Montgomery County Public Schools. I really want to thank every single one of my colleagues, understanding that we are moving into this new digital age. We need to make sure that we're continuously replacing our equipment, and we'll need to do even more of this once we find out our understanding for what's happening this fall. So from that perspective, again, I just want to thank my colleagues for their continued support.
Thank you. It has been moved and by Councilmember Navarro, seconded by Councilmember Rice, that we approve our consent calendar. All those in favor, please raise your hand. And that is unanimous. Thank you. The next item that we have is the action items on our budget. This is no secret to any of us that we will be voting on this today. And it's my understanding we can do it en banc in some cases. However, I just learned that we're going to need to do county government as a standalone and then come back to doing things as a grouping. So is there a motion to approve the county government budget?
So moved.
It was moved by Councilmember Navarro, seconded by Councilmember Reamer. All those in favor, please. Did you? Yes, Councilmember Friedson, yes.
Yeah, apologies. Just very quickly, I'm on the board of Bethesda Green. There's a community grant for Bethesda Green, and in keeping with what I did last year and other council members have done in the past, I'd like to be reflected as an abstention on the Bethesda Green grant, and then vote on the balance of the budget.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember, I get Mr. Howard, Craig Howard, did you have something to say? Or Ms. Michelson?
No, I did not. I just want to, but I do think that we should, I just want to be clear on which resolutions you are voting on right now. If you're talking about the county government operating budget, that is item number 10. I just want to make sure people understand that you're talking about that item as opposed to item number 1, which is the county government capital budget.
I appreciate that because I looked at county government and I did look in there. So that you're abstaining then, Councilmember Friedson, on item 10.
Correct. Yeah, I thought you were saying operating budget. I apologize if we.
Yeah, no. Okay. Very good. So at this point, then we're going to ask for a motion for so that we're clear, for items 1 through 9 for our budget. Items 1 through 9. Councilmember Navarro, did you?
So moved.
And Councilmember Rice, would you like to second that? Okay. So items 1 through 9 was, the motion was made by Councilmember Navarro, seconded by Councilmember Rice. All those in favor, please raise your hand. And that carries unanimously. All right, now we're at number 10, and Councilmember Friedson has already made a statement. Would you like to reiterate that?
Yeah, just for formality, I just, since I serve on the Bethesda Green Board, in keeping with what I have done in the past and other council members have done in the past, I'd like to be reflected as an abstention on the Bethesda Green community grant budget item, and then vote on the balance of the operating budget for the Montgomery County government, please. Thank you.
So we need a motion. Thank you, Councilman. We need a motion for item 10, the county government operating budget. Is there a motion?
So moved.
It was moved by Councilmember Reamer, seconded by Councilmember Jawando. All those in favor, please raise your hand. And that is unanimous, with the one caveat of Councilmember Friedson. We're now going to vote on items 11 through 15. Items 11 through 15. Is there a motion?
So moved.
It was moved by Councilmember Reamer, seconded by, who was that?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Navarro. All those in favor, please raise your hand. And that carries unanimously. Very good. The next item that we have are items 16 through 18. WSSC's capital and operating budget, and the county cable communications plan. Is there a motion?
So moved.
It was moved by Councilmember
Second.
Navarro, seconded by Councilmember Rice. All those in favor, please raise your hand. And that carries unanimously. The next item that we have is items 19 through 21. The property tax rate, the FY21 property tax rate, and authorize the substitution of current revenue for general obligation bonds, and the resolution to set amount of property tax credit for income tax offset. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilmember Reamer, seconded by Councilmember Friedson. All those in favor, please raise your hand. And that carries unanimously as well. Councilmember Rice, please.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. President. And I just wanted to make sure that now that we've voted on these various issues, an update for my colleagues. So I appreciate a moment to just state that on Monday, following our CIP discussion, I contacted Montgomery County Public Schools Superintendent Dr. Jack Smith to discuss the status of the capital budget and the next steps in the educational facility planning process. I shared with him that our intent of the council was to return to have CIP discussions in August or September of this year, once economic and public health conditions are more focused, and with the benefit of additional fiscal and project-specific information. I expressed my interest in working with Montgomery County Public Schools and the school board to provide more support and resources for top priority projects delayed in the MCPS CIP, like South Lake Elementary School. I greatly appreciate Dr. Smith's support and his intent to work with his MCPS colleagues to revisit the MCPS CIP in the context of additional fiscal resources that could be available or allocated later this year. I understand that MCPS and the council staff will continue to work over the summer to refine the analysis of the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on the county construction program, and to move forward expeditiously with as many priority projects as possible. So I wanted to make sure that my colleagues know about that announcement for that upcoming and pending work session in the early fall. Thank you so much, Mr. President, and thank you to all of my colleagues.
Thank you, Councilmember Rice. I just wanted to publicly thank you for all of your hard work, not just on this budget and all my colleagues for that matter, but especially for the MCPS budget. I too, and as all my colleagues mentioned it seems like it was forever ago, and I guess it was two days ago, that we're very concerned about South Lake Elementary and other schools as well, and that we all need to work together to get this accomplished. I know that you are leading the charge on that with Dr. Smith and others from MCPS, so I sincerely appreciate it. And obviously, though I'm not on the Education and Culture Committee, when South Lake Elementary comes up, I certainly would be more than happy to sit in on those meetings so that we can get the outcome that we want it to happen.
I'll make sure that everybody receives an invitation and that it's a convenient time for all, because I know this is important to every single one of you as colleagues, and they're all different projects that I know that you guys all care about. So we'll make sure that we coordinate that with your offices.
Thank you very much. And with that, we actually are going to have to take a recess now, because we're going to sit as the Board of Health at 11 o'clock. And it's too early to even suggest that Dr. Gales and Dr. Stoddard might be here. So we are on recess until 11 o'clock, and then we will be back. And just for anyone who is wanting to know what our schedule is after that, once we hear from Dr. Stoddard and Dr. Gales, we will then go on another recess, and then at 2:30, we will get an update, a briefing by the Maryland Department of Transportation on the status of the Purple Line construction. It is my understanding that will start at 2:30, and it's my understanding that the people from the Department of Transportation need to end that meeting by 3:30. That's a hard stop. So what we will start on time, and we will have a hard stop at 3:30. For that part of the meeting. So thank you very much. We will see each other at 11. Thank you.